Alrighty guys, ready to dig into today's issue. So I went to work today, I came home from work today, and what I have noticed is I've got an issue. On the front passenger side of the car, I have a clunking noise. A very noticeable clunking noise, and get this, it almost seems like I hear it more at lower speeds than I do like going down the highway. Going down the highway at 75, 80 mile an hour, I didn't really hear a damn thing. It was just smooth. I know another issue I have is I've got some cheapo tire on the back. Primewell Valera Touring. I don't know. Maybe it's not a cheap tire, but goddamn, is it a terrible tire. I would not recommend these to anybody. This is the noisiest tire. It is the noisiest tire I've ever had on a car. When I first put this tire on here, I thought the whole car was falling apart. I had to take this tire back off and I put another tire on it, a spare as a matter of fact, and drove it around and just to see if the noise would stop. It just roars and hums and it's terrible, but it's still got tread on it. And talk about some other cheap tires. These are Douglas Extra Track 2. You can get these at like Walmart. I totally recommend these. You can get a whole set of these in 15s for literally like $220. Like 4 brand new tires put on your car for a little over 200 bucks. And they're cheap. And I was actually very impressed with these. They were quiet, they were smooth, they turned and they handled as well as they should on a Cracker Box car. And now all of a sudden I blew one out. It was my fault, okay? What had happened was I drove it over busted glass and it got some holes in it. I tried to patch it. You just can't patch sidewalls, blah, blah, yeah. Tire destroyed itself. But no, up here on the front, we have clunking. Terrible clunking. So at low speeds, like I said, it's worse than when you're actually moving. So what we're gonna do is, I've been waiting. That's the trash pickup guy. It's also my stepbrother. In that Toyota pickup. I've been waiting. I put the can out there Wednesday night, or Tim put it out there Wednesday night. And he didn't pick it up yesterday. He's supposed to pick it up on Thursday. Today's Friday. But that's him. Yeah, it's also my stepbrother, in case you didn't know, guys. Anyway, as I was saying. Yeah, so I've got some driving to do. Speaking of it being Friday, it is also coming up on the 4th of July. I've got some time off here around 4th of July. So I've got some places I'm going to travel around to. Unfortunately, I don't want to do it if this thing's clunking and banging and making noises. So let's get it down here, jack it up, see what's wrong. So I jacked the front end up. And I did the wiggle side to side on the tire and up and down. And I really couldn't get much out of it up and down. But if you can't, always get you something else to put back in between here to pry on it. Because once I did, probably gonna tell. But it's moving that ball joint. Just a hair. You can't see it on camera, I don't think. But that cheapo ball joint that I put on it a few years back finally is letting go. So I guess that's why you don't put cheapo ball joints on your car, guys. I guess that also means I'm going to be taking this one off and putting a new one on. Great. All right. And you know what? I think we've got a new ball joint. I don't even think I'll have to buy one. Hopefully, that's my noise. All right, let me do a little more checking.
Hello.
Hi. So Tim bought a ball joint, Tim bought a whole front end kit for the gold Corolla up there that we haven't got around to using because I'm lazy. And it came with brand new control arms, which I'm not gonna install because I'm pretty sure mine's fine. And I don't have time or the patience, and I want to do all of it when I do it. So, but it did have a brand new ball joint. It's non-greasable and it's made in China, so it'll probably last about as long as the other one did, which works for me. And it was bolted in, so I had to unbolt it. Ta-da. Fun fact, the ball joint is in my car now that I replaced 2 something years ago. Also, I only put 2 of the bolts back in it. That one and that one, and I did not replace that one because that would have been too much work, and I didn't want to do that much more work. But this cheapo ball joint is coming out, and my other cheapo ball joint's going in. So let's pull this cotter pin back right here, and we'll slide that whole thing out. Okay, so I've gotten got the top bolt loose up there, the castle nut rung up to the bottom of the CV axle. You'll see why in a minute. Here's our last. Oh, come on. The rain we had earlier today brought all the mosquitoes out. All right, now that we got that taken care of, you're gonna shove. This is from the Harbor Freight manual tire changer that you can buy, but it's got an awesome pry end on it back here. You shove that right underneath there, and you usually just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. There it goes, popped. Now I'm gonna pry it down like that, back that castle nut up some more, and then I need 2 hands. Give me a second. Alright, here's our old tie rod. I don't know if you can hear that. It's got a play in it. Here's our, I said tie rod. Guys, I meant ball joint. That's your new ball joint. You know what I'm talking about. Here's our new one. Also, this one has a ton of resistance, which is good. Hey, Butters. What are you doing? This one, it's got nothing. Nothing. So let's get this new one. Let's get it wiggled up into place. Alright, now that we wiggled the bottom, the new ball joint up in there, I got the bottom ones tightened down. Got my pry bar resting between them so that I can slide my new castle nut right up into there. So go ahead and get it started. Pull this out. It brings it up more. There you go. You can just spin it down. Beautiful. Take your 7/8 wrench. And we're gonna tighten it back down. Alright, and let me put the camera down. I'm going to go back over all these one more time, torque them real good. Alright, so the rain's picking up, so I'm just going to, I set you inside the little building. I'm going to run out here and throw the wheel back on it. I got everything tightened down. Our old ball joints over here. These are the concrete pavers that I used to lay underneath the disc while I was lowering the car to pull the hub assembly up so I could slide the ball joint out. So with all that done, hold on. It'd help if I didn't lose the keys. I was gonna turn the steering wheel back straight, but I don't know where I put the keys, so. So we won't do it that way. We'll just put it on there with it being turned a little. Now they're tight. Just to be sure, I usually make a lap up and down the road, come back and re-torque them. All right. Now, once I figure out what the heck I did with my keys, we'll drive it up the street and see if the noise stopped. Alright, so over the yard and stuff so far, it's good and quiet. This is gravel. And on the pavement. Oh yeah, much better. Now the camera's probably picking it up. It probably sounds like it's got like a wheel bearing noise, but I promise you it doesn't. For some reason, that's just the, and most of it is that tire that's on the back. It sounds so bad, but it's all in that tire. That's pretty good if you ask me. Alright, I'm gonna get my mess cleaned up. And there's one final test. There's some train tracks down the street. And every time I hit those train tracks, even at any speed, it was just a horrendous noise. So we're gonna go hit those train tracks and see what happens.